Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole. Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole. How's it going, everybody? How the hell are you? I'm the nerdy Jock Nick Angle, and we are going to the Stanley Cup Final, baby! Yes, sir! Right here, right here. I told you they were going to win. I told you. I said it, and you didn't believe me, but they did it. Actually, I didn't really tell you that much. I know. I was pretty sure that they were going to be done in the first round, but I told you that they were going to win Game 6 against the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and they did! And, you know, the Islanders lost in Game 7 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's okay. Hey, you know what? These things happen. I think the Lightning, obviously a very good team. But the New York Islanders, man, they came to play. The Coliseum, got to see a great send-off, I think, for that arena. Obviously, it would have been better if they could have taken that next step, but fantastic all around. All right, guys, so let's look at the Stanley Cup Final coming up for us. Monday is Game 1. Holy cow, it's here. I can't believe it. It has been since 1993. I was 9 years old the last time the Habs were in this position. I said it on a previous broadcast. It was one of the best years of my life, and my brother was born that year, and he wasn't old enough to really know what was going on, so this is his first time really seeing this, and we are absolutely flabbergasted. No words to be said. I don't know what the hell to think, but you've got to look at this team and absolutely love everything that they're doing. They are playing together. They are playing for each other. They are playing a system that is working. They have 4 big defensemen on the back, as Luke Richardson likes to call them, the 4 Clydesdales. They've got scoring. They've got goaltending. It's great. And now they come up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, let's look at the Tampa Bay Lightning for a second here. How'd they get here? Well, they're pretty good. That's how they got here. I mean, they got through what I thought was a pretty good Florida team. They got through the Carolina Hurricane again. I was like, well, I mean, this team's playing well, but I think what I did and what a bunch of us did was look back at the season without Nikita Kucherov and see how they played, and they had some issues as well coming in. That all kind of went away, and they were absolutely the better team through that. Now they're a little bit banged up now. I would say Victor Hedman, while he's still an elite defenseman, has looked a little sore, I guess is the easiest way to describe it, but now they're going to come in. They're going up against a team who plays a very similar style to the team that they just beat, but I think plays it better. And if you look at it, I think the Montreal Canadiens are a better version of the New York Islanders. I think they have better goaltending, which is weird to say because I really liked Semyon Varlamov's game coming in, and it just, I don't know, He looked a little shaky at times. There were some times where he didn't look like that kind of, I thought, Vezina caliber goaltender. And I think that's been his game sort of his entire career, is that there are some ups and downs. Lightning are coming in. This is definitely the best goalie that they have faced, 100%. Going up against Florida, Bobrovsky was not there at all. Going up against the Carolina Hurricane, they had good goaltending, but it just, I don't know. It couldn't really, I don't think it was as good as Price. Going up against Varlamov, I think there were games that he stood out, and then there was some inconsistency as well. Going up against Carey Price has been on his game, I would say, from the start of the playoffs. Yes, they went down 3-1 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but you can't really blame that on Price. There was some figuring out of things, I think, that had to happen. But since then, I mean, it has been such a total team effort to get to this point. And I think I need to reiterate that for people, because so many of you are sitting here going, well, thank God for Price, and Price isn't the only reason that these guys are here. Yes, he is a big reason that they're here, but look at the defense right now that they're playing with. These four guys, Edmondson, Weber, Sherratt, and Petrie, are absolutely crushing it back there. Now, you've got two defensemen who I think have like one hand between them in Weber and Petrie, but these guys are logging big minutes. They play big. They are mean. And I told you going into the Vegas series, Vegas has not faced four defensemen like this their entire playoff run. Well, they did last round. And man, did it hurt them. They couldn't get anything going. They were clogged up in the neutral zone. Obviously, Montreal's forwards had a lot to do with that as well. But every time they got in there, they were punished. They were punished for every inch they took. Pietrangelo was dinged around the entire series. It was unreal. Gallagher, every second he could get something in on Pietrangelo, he did. And it wears you down. And so looking into this series, I think a lot of what they did against Vegas is going to be a lot of what they are going to try to do against the Lightning. And I say try to do because the Lightning are obviously a different team. You've got Stamkos, you've got Kucherov. Now Kucherov again, sore ribs. We'll see how that affects him going into the corner against a Ben Sherratt or a Joel Edmondson or a, Shea Weber. I mean, that's even Petrie. That is not going to be comfortable. He is going to be uncomfortable the whole time. The other thing, too, I think Montreal's penalty kill is going to be tested. I think this is the best power play they've gone up against. The penalty kill is going to be tested. We'll see how it does against these guys, and because they're lethal. They're absolutely lethal. But as you look at it, seeing ways that Montreal can possibly win this is not that far-fetched. Look at what they've done this far. Now, I know there's a lot of people picking Tampa Bay, and your brain would tell you that that is the correct answer. Who's going to win? Tampa Bay. However, if you look at the sum of the parts that have gotten Montreal to this place, if you would look at the top six forwards in the last 55 periods of play that Montreal has played against, they have a combined, I think even with, maybe before Game 6 against Vegas, they had a combined 4 goals. Top 6 forwards had a combined 4 goals against Montreal. That's insane. So what makes you think that they can't walk into Tampa and do the exact same thing? What, the Connors, Matthews, Marner, they're not as good? Okay, that's a fair argument, but we got to wait and see. Now, the other thing too is, and I think this definitely has made me rethink what I was saying. When we look at the North Division, and for a long time, and it wasn't just me, but there was a lot of people saying it's a very weak division, and a Leaf pundits and stuff started saying it's a weak division after Montreal beat them. They weren't saying it before, which is a little suspicious. But I think actually what it is more of a function of the North Division. Look how much travel the Canadian teams had to log getting back and forth. They were crossing the country multiple times, going through multiple time zones. Nobody else had to do this in the NHL. Nobody. There were, I guess a little bit of the West. And I understand that, the Vancouver Canucks do a fair amount of travel during the year. In fact, I think they're one of the teams that probably travels the most, but they're not traveling time zones constantly, right? And Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, so everybody was beating everybody because you were catching guys on different nights. So you had that opportunity to beat teams that maybe you normally wouldn't. So it certainly changed my perspective on the North Division. And I would say I don't think it's as weak as we thought. But at the same time, too, I think Montreal has figured something out along the way. So while it might have been maybe a division that wasn't maybe as good as some of the other ones, I think Montreal has figured something out as well. So there's a combination of things going on. So yeah, but I was saying, I think it's a crappy division. But as you look back at it, and it was Elliot Friedman who actually mentioned the travel and how it probably benefited Montreal in their games against Vegas, because Vegas didn't really have to do that kind of travel. I think now that you look at it, the division itself was maybe flawed in the sense of how much travel these teams were doing and made us think, okay, this isn't a very good division because everybody can beat everybody. So maybe that kind of clears it up. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. So here it is. I have been playing coy. I have been humble this entire playoffs just because I love this team, and you never want to bet against them. But every round, every series, your brain was telling you something that wasn't supposed to happen because of what you've watched, and you're calculating all of the things, and you're looking at all the numbers, and you're like, this shouldn't be happening, but it is. So, for the first time, I am going to stick with my Montreal Canadiens for the Stanley Cup Final. And I'm going to call it in 6 games. That's right. They're going to get this done on home ice. You best believe it. If you break down these two teams, I think the goaltenders are a wash. And I think you give the edge to Montreal on the defense. And I think you have to give the edge to the Lightning on the offense, on the forwards. But we said that, or at least I said that, going into last series when it came to Vegas. Now, obviously, Vegas is not Tampa Bay. However, if you give the edge to the scoring there, but you give the edge to the defense there, defense does win championships, guys. It's happened. So I would say Montreal's forwards are better defensively than Tampa Bay's. So we'll see where that's going to go. I think that fourth line, Joel Armia isn't in. I think Jake Evans might be going in. I have to double check that. But that fourth line is better than Tampa Bay's fourth line. Like, what the hell is Patrick Maroon going to do? Because skill-wise, he's got nothing on Corey Perry and Eric Stahl. He's not them. He's like Ryan Reeves on the Vegas Golden Knights, and they pulled him out because he couldn't keep up. So he can throw his body weight around all he wants. But skill-wise, you can't hang. So I think I got to give at least the fourth line scales to Montreal. But we'll see where the rest lies. I think it's going to be fun. Enjoy tonight. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Who you got? You got Tampa Bay or you got Montreal? How many games you got them in? Maybe 6, maybe 7. We'll see. Let me know. All right, guys, let's talk F1. Holy cow. And on Sunday, it was a pretty good race, but Max Verstappen from start to finish had an unbelievable drive. But let's go back to qualifying. Yes, back into qualifying, where some interesting things happened. Bottas actually received a 3-grid penalty with some antics in the pit lane. They were trying something. They were leaving the car, I believe, in second gear so that they could get out of the pits faster because they were losing time there to Red Bull. 100% I understand why they're trying to do this. However, when the pit ended and he took off, the car got a little bit squirrely and got away from him. He ends up spinning in the pit lane, causing some havoc. Things then have to come down, I guess. I don't understand how you give him a grid penalty. He's trying something out. Nobody got hurt. Relax, move on. Also, Yuki Tsunoda got a 3-place grid penalty as well with some antics in the pit lane. He got his for not moving out of the way during qualifying, I think it was. Again, that I'm actually more inclined to be like, okay, I get it. Because you're literally not getting out of the way. You're ruining somebody else's lap time. I get it. So both of these guys have grid penalties before they even finish qualifying. So you know that they got to step up and they got to do as best they can. Bottas absolutely stepped up and qualified 3rd and then gets bumped down to 5th. Yuki Tsunoda got bumped down to 11th with his qualifying lap. So pretty tough for him. But ended up being a pretty good day. Look, Max Verstappen, Red Bull, they were on point except for one thing. They should have had Verstappen and Perez on that podium on Sunday, but for one little slip up in the pit stop on Perez's pit stop, allowed Mercedes to then overcut him with Bottas, and Bottas ends up taking third place. Perez almost caught him. There's a little bit of traffic. There were some other things, but he got close. So I got to give Perez a lot of credit for trying to make that time up. But, I mean, he was down by 19 seconds at one point, and I think he ended up finishing the race only about a 500th of a second behind Bottas. So, great way to catch up. I think this, again, bodes well for Red Bull moving forward. I think Max and Perez are just kind of starting to roll. Some surprises, though, in that race on Sunday. First of all, Ferrari coming just out of left field and just putting the pedal down, having both of their drivers in the points. It was a great drive. Leclerc, absolutely driver of the day, you know, coming up from the bottom into the points and like really making some hay. That Ferrari is looking pretty good, but during qualifying it just doesn't seem to translate. So they've got the speed and they got the pace on race day. They just got to find it a little bit more consistently during qualifying, and I think that helps them out. Also, George Russell qualifying in the top 10 and then having a problem with his engine. Something about the pneumatic, there was air pressure and there's a pneumatic valve in the engine itself because it's not a traditional engine like you and I drive. It's pneumatic. That affected him, and he actually had to keep going into the pits to refill this air valve because it was leaking, and then eventually they were like, we're losing too much time, and they had to retire the car. Here's what's interesting about that, though. So Red Bull actually got, well, they didn't get, but Honda made some upgrades to the engine in the Red Bull that were reliability issue related, which is allowed. So, with the reliability issues in the Mercedes engine that sits in that Williams and George Russell, will Mercedes then be allowed to fix reliability issues on their engine and maybe get, because Red Bull gained speed. All of a sudden, they got a little bit of speed because of those fixes. So I wonder if Mercedes is now allowed to do that, or if they will, to fix reliability issues. And maybe they can gain some more speed, because right now, I mean, they're just sitting in Red Bull's dust at this point. Max is just flying around, and he, what else are you going to do? So they've got another race again at the same Red Bull ring in Austria. I think they change it up somehow. But here's the race. It's the same race. Red Bull already has proven that they are very good at this track. I think Perez now in that Red Bull will be better in next weekend's race. I look to have both Red Bulls back on the podium at the end of next race for sure. So we'll see. The race is on for the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. It's getting interesting, folks. You guys let me know what you think about what's going on in the comments below. All right, and on to the MLB and the Toronto Blue Jays. Look, thank God for the Baltimore Orioles. Yes, thank God for the Baltimore Orioles. That'll just make all your tears go away. And also the Marlins, and they're awful. They can't hit a baseball. But anyway, thank God for these teams, because it has helped Toronto get back up off the mat, moving forward. We still have issues, but at least maybe there's some confidence that can be garnered from these games. You hope. However, bullpen still kind of blew it a little bit. It's going to happen. Until it's addressed, it's going to keep happening. I got to say, again, what Vladimir Guerrero is doing right now, 26 home runs, what Shohei Ohtani is doing with, I mean, as a pitcher and a hitter, I think he's got 24 home runs. Tatis Jr., wow. I mean, these guys are absolutely crushing baseballs. It's so fun to watch. And then yet, the big story, pitchers. with foreign substances. And they finally got one. I don't remember who it was. They put his glove in a plastic bag like it was CSI. Like evidence. We have to, the murder case. Guys, it's just sticky shit. Like, personally, I would rather a pitcher be able to hang on to a baseball. That's just me. So maybe you got to mandate something. You got to allow these guys to get some sort of grip on the baseball. Because if that ball is coming down at players at 95 plus miles an hour, I'd like to kind of know where it's going. Just a little bit. I mean, I don't need to know exactly, because if I knew exactly, then I could hit the ball out of the park every time. Or maybe not, because I'm slow. But I'm just saying as a player. But I'd at least like to know that it's, there is some control in that little box of the strike zone, so I'm not getting placated in the head. Anyway, this whole thing with the pitchers, the Max Scherzer thing with Joe Girardi was unreal. That was hilarious. It's just sweat, Joe. It's just sweat. And then you got other pitchers just disrobing in the middle of the, hey guys, hey, woo, woo. Like, what is happening? And Major League Baseball is not looking at this and going, maybe this was a bad idea. Maybe we should have not done this. Because it's God, Jesus, figure it out. Why does the general public have a better understanding and at least more common sense than the people running the league? I don't get it. And, while some of the numbers have changed, spin rates seem to be down a little bit, strikeouts do seem to be down a little bit. Again, I don't know, but mandate something so they can get at least a little, I don't know, just so they can grip the ball. So they're not just, dance floors flying out of palms and smacking guys. I wonder, though. I wonder if the hit rates will go up. That's a number we should look at. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think of the Blue Jays season so far. Guys, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a tough one. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., however, is absolutely fantastic to watch. I think this team is really good, but obviously with the bullpen, you're just sort of holding your breath. It's unfortunate because you can be so happy and at the same time be so pissed off with what you're watching. Hopefully, Jays management figures this out. Hopefully, we get some answers. Hopefully, we get some solutions. And this team might have a shot. Don't know. Again, feeling like 1993 in the NHL. If you don't remember what happened in 1993 in the Major League Baseball, then you're not a Blue Jays fan. I'm just saying. There's some parallels. We could get this thing going again. It could be 93 all over. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Smack that subscribe. Remember, guys, it's totally free. Totally free. Just, you got to have an account on YouTube, and then you can do it. It's bang, bang, boom. It's very easy. Get it done. But I'm watching the game tonight. I'm cheering these boys on because remember, guys, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing in life, it is always game time. Let's go, baby!